Okay.
Oh, on a scale of 1 to let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, how are we?
You'll be fine.
And with that ringing vote of confidence,
Fine. It's fine.
Well-
I mean, it's what? It's only CR2. It's fine.
Well, Greet,
I'm
Hoof,
designed for 4 people. It's fine.
Greet, Hoofs, it's been an honor serving with you.
Look,
uh,
if it's any consolation, its highest stat is a 16.
That is not a consolation.
That is not even remotely a consolation.
And
The
as
The
long
only
as
thing
it's-
that
as
the
long as
closest
it's
thing,
somewhere, you figure it out.
the closest thing to a consolation that I count that is a participation trophy.
Yep.
Look, well, you know what, Seb? I'm gonna use the dice you gave me for this.
We're fucked. We're fucked. Holy shit, we're fucked. Everyone, we're
So,
fucked.
if anything bad happens, I can blame you.
So speaking of
But-
dice, I'm missing a dice again. A die.
Those dice are meant for Lucius.
also,
Lucius is on death's fucking door.
No, he's not. We had a long rest.
I did
Lucius
tell
is
you I'm
fine.
gonna die. Well, I did tell you I'm gonna die soon.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
not if I can help it.
I don't know if you can.
I mean, that depends. I mean, what can an astral elf do against fucking Zariel or whoever Zariel might send if
level
indeed
6.
that is the case?
A level 6 astral elf. Let's be specific.
I mean, to be fair, I did make a deal with the devil, so you do have like some of hell on your side as well.
Yeah.
Not much, but
Question
you've
is
got
just
some.
how high up.
Why? Okay,
How many? Interesting question.
I know
It's
this
one
is like
little-
a common sense place for dice to be, but why do my dice keep ending up in the dice bag? I have 3 sets of dice that I specifically keep out, and it's always one dice that ends up back in the dice bag somehow.
Well,
Probably
I am
because
going.
on occasion when you have to roll multiple dice, you just sort of toss them all in and it gets sucked in there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what happened with me.
I haven't used I haven't used the centaur dice in ages though. Okay.
Well, I am going to use some new dice for Sverkr. I got them from Dragon. They are kind of milky, which I think will fit. I love milk. Milk is great.
As will,
My
as
food
your
is
as
there.
will be your bones when this creature one shots you.
Right.
Uh,
We
Yeah,
do need
no.
to get started though, because we
yes,
are
Indeed.
on a
speaking
time
of,
limit.
just quickly before we start, do you want to upgrade from Spy Party to D&D?
Yes. Sorry, I don't mean to rush so long, but yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
He has that work commitment thing.
Yeah.
Hatu. Fucking disgusting.
I hope
You
it's less
can't complain.
trashy
It
than
pays your
mine.
bills.
I can still call it disgusting.
Well, I also hope it has less trash than mine.
Taxes mean that I'm allowed to use the NHS and that I don't need to pay radical medical bills for my surgeries whenever I need them. Taxes are still disgusting. Like, I could exploit a thing and still call it out.
Fair, honestly.
Man, I keep hearing the door to the stairs that leads to my apartment open, and I keep expecting it to be my food, but it keeps being neighbors.
Your food will get there when it gets there, Seb. Anyway,
Yeah, in the meantime, you will become food. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Adventurers Academy. It's been a little bit. I went away, and we've had some members of the party that were unavailable, but we figured we could get the majority in for this one, so we're gonna do it because we missed this little chaotic group. And we need to get the show on the road. So, without further ado, we have Malachi playing the Centaur, aka Ponyboy, aka Hooves, aka Iron Shoes.
Hi.
You have as many names as Celia, and it fills me with great discomfort.
I
We
know.
have Sverkr, played by Seb.
My food is here.
Oh.
Also,
cool.
hi.
Of course, the second we fucking start. And we have Greet, played by Mahez.
Other help!
And we have Bad Life Choices, played by Tilly. And I am your Dungeon Master, CJ Zephyr. Where we left off last time, our intrepid group of adventurers and also students were making their way to Silverbark, where they were going to do an investigation in order to earn some extra credit, as they seem to be in some kind of time loop, and they know that a vicious attack is going to take place on the farm. So they made sure to get to that farm early and see if they could find out what was going to kill it. I believe it was Greet did some investigating on the edges of town and found some tracks, and made their way to into the forest with Sverkr and Zakaria, whilst we had the centaur in the barn, scouting out, making sure that it was safe, making sure that no one was doing any shady business. When they found the mouth of a cave, Greet decided to go back for the centaur, and Zakaria and Seb were stalking the entrance of the cave when two massive lizard-like creatures came out, and they decided we could handle this, and nearly died to the big lizards.
Well,
And then
you know, that
the
stuff happens.
And then the centaur and Greek came back just in time to see two giant dead bodies, and they had many questions, but they pressed on. They went into the cave where, after a little bit of exploration and a little bit of chicanery and troublemaking trying to get over this large spiky gorge, they found a load of kobolds. The centaur threatened the kobolds in their own home, and subsequently got a load of little metal bits thrown at him and nearly died. But it was fine. They made their way to the back of the cave where they found a weird study area which seemed very, very out of place. A lot of books and sort of what is often viewed in this society to be quite expensive things like fancy rugs and chairs, fireplaces and beds. They found a hidden switch inside the wardrobe, which opened a secret back panel. And as they went through the back panel, through a little tunnel, they found this weird arcane circle. Greet went up close to it to inspect it, and upon doing so, a large creature crawled out of the shadows. And as this large creature stands before you, blue scales, 10 feet long, giant white horn sitting at the top of its snout, like a stalagmite in its skin. I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Don't fail me, new dice.
23 for initiative.
Wait, what is my bonus to initiative? That's okay. 18.
22.
All right.
Okay.
You will notice as you ready your weapons, and as the creature seems to become very territorial, what looks like to you, Greet, having studied basic creatures and basic creature behaviors in previous years at the school, you will feel this odd vibration going through the cavern itself. As Zakaria readies her spells, she takes a step forward, placing a single toe on the arcane circle. A blue sort of line of runes will come up from it and begin to entangle her like rope. And slowly she will begin to fade, disappear until nothing is left of her but blue sparkles. and the stones of which he stood upon. Mr. Centaur, you're up first.
What the fuck? And I'm going to... What's the requirement for this? Da, 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 30, so take me... Wait, hang on. Alright, I'm gonna... Okay. I'm gonna run up
All right.
and... two-handed quarterstaff attack. Does a 21 hit?
Every day of the week,
No
apart
worries.
from Thursdays.
It is Thursday.
Not for me, so you're fine.
For me, it is Wednesday, my dudes.
That is 9 points of bludgeoning.
All right.
10, 15, 20, 25. Move around it. And unarmed strike is a bonus action.
All right, go for it.
And that's 23 to hit, which is... Where'd that go? There it is. It's such a little dice. That's another 7 points of bludgeoning.
Very nice. Very nice. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Movement, action, bonus action, that's all of it.
All right. In which case, we go to Greek.
Move up. And going to swing at it with my scimitar.
Go for it.
Well, this is an auspicious way to start off the night.
Oh.
We like to hear that.
Sending you a photo there.
All right. We do it crunchy here, so double everything. You like it
Yes,
crunchy.
because I've really got so much to double when, I'm a level 1 character.
I mean, if you don't want to double it, we could just do it normally.
No, I'm fine doubling it. So that is 18 points of damage.
That is lovely. I love to see that. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No, not particularly, not at the moment. There's not much else I
Alrighty.
can do.
In which case, we go to you, Sverkr.
All right. Question.
Answer.
If I stand here, will I still get flanking, or would it only be
Flanking, you need to be directly next
like
to the creature.
only Greet and the Centaur? Okay, then. Well, then I will.
You You can choose to walk up and get flanking, or I move
No, it's
across on my next
only-
turn if it's still
yeah.
standing.
Yeah, you can move up closer, or you can choose to stay away from the big fuck off lizard. It's up to you.
Yeah, like Do I want to go all out? Fuck it worked well enough against the other one. I'm going to move up. I'm going to move over there. We're all like kind of equally spaced apart from it. Anyways. And I am going to try and cast Inflict Wounds.
All right, roll a hit, I believe. Am I remembering right?
Horrible.
Yes, I am.
Horrible idea. I can already tell.
We shall
Okay.
see.
Let's see. That is 21 to hit.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Awful. All right. I really hoped for a crit, but I didn't get one. Do I seriously only have? Hold on. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, good. Wait. Oh, there. Okay, good. I lost 2 of my d10s there for a second. See, that is. Okay. Is this? Oh shit. Wait. Does that mean? Hold on. Yes. Okay, that is what that means. Okay, good. So that will then be 26 points of necrotic damage.
All right. Is that all you're doing on your turn?
Yes, it is. I dropped some of my chicken and rice in my lap.
God.
Fuck's sake. You know what? Just for that, the Drake is going to attack you. I have made it so. All right.
Yeah, I deserve this.
He's gonna miss you on the first attack. So he's gonna come in and try and sort of bite at you as you're reaching across with your inflict wounds, but you're able to pull away just enough. However, you are gonna be hit for a 21
Oh boy.
as its tail comes in and strikes at you, and you will take
I don't like
9
violence.
bludgeoning damage.
Okay. I'm still standing. I'm gonna need to get myself some more milk.
All right, Mr. Centaur, we go to you.
I'm pretty sure he was the only one that was at full health.
No, I'm at full health. But, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Greet hasn't properly engaged in combat the whole day. He's been investigating and then staying at range.
There you go. Well, I'm going to move across because that is the most
Alrighty.
logical thing to do. Quarterstaff attack. Two-handed.
Okay.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
Yep, that'll do it.
Thank God for that. Oh, wait, hang on. What am I doing? Roll again. No. Does +4, so that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So that makes it that. Fucking hell, this thing's got some HP. And unarmed strike is a bonus action.
Alrighty.
That'll be a 22 to hit.
Alright.
And max damage, so that's another 8 points of damage.
Very nice. Very nice. Is there? I'm guessing there's nothing else you want to do.
Movement, attack, and bonus action all done. So yeah, that's it.
Do you agree?
Yep. Swinging again, and I swing with advantage now, don't I?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God for that, because that was a 6 for the first dice, and 17 for the second one. What's the bonus? 23. I'd assume that hits.
Mm-hmm.
Look, a parry with the sword that this clearly has. Yeah, that hits.
9 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Just cut up through its chest cavity and slice its heart in two.
All right, as you sort of see it getting sort of knocked by this quarterstaff blow and this punch from you, Mr. Centaur, the Drake will almost sort of entirely rotate just quickly enough for Greek to grab the handle and the pommel of his scimitar, and in one fluid motion, the blade runs up the softest scaling that is on the underbelly of this creature, going all the way up, revealing this gush of red and interior muscle. And you can almost see from your incision this sort of wide gash that you've created, the beating heart of the creature. And as you go in and make another strike, a simple piercing, this shrilling shriek in this almost guttural pain that this creature feels, and it falls down motionless, blood slipping over the arcane circle. Congratulations.
Well, that was certainly interesting.
I think my ribs are broken.
Would you like me to make sure?
Nope.
Didn't think so.
From any other character, would you like me to make sure? Oh, sure, yes, come do some medicine. From the centaur, would you like me to make sure? No, I'm good. You know what? I'll just walk up. I'll be fine.
The centaur has a different way of making sure his ribs are broken.
Oh, great. Mr. Centaur, with your passive perception of 15, you'll see in sort of one of the corner divots of the room, sort of to the southeast, there is this sort of small pile of bits and bobs that you would be able to search through if you so desire.
If I notice it, I will search through it.
Alrighty. You find not limited to 57 gold pieces,
I am.
28 silver, and 105 copper.
So you said 58. How much silver?
24,
24 and 108 was it?
108 copper. Yep.
Yep. No worries. And what
You
else?
also find a stack of 10 +1 magical darts.
Okay. I will take those.
And 2 scrolls.
And 2 scrolls.
A scroll of Mage Hand.
Uh-huh.
And a scroll of Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay. Interesting.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
I vaguely remember last session that in the chest in the room there were health potions. I remember I picked up one. I don't have it in my inventory, so either I forgot to add it to my inventory or I drank it immediately. I don't remember
I
when.
believe you immediately drank it.
Yeah. That does sound plausible, yeah.
If that does need fixing, I will look at the episode later on. But as far
Like
if
I
you-
am it does sound like it is something I wouldn't, because
based on your health at the beginning of this session, I am
yeah.
of the
Yeah,
mind that you drank it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I was just looking like for my inventory because like, wait, there was that whole thing about the health potion. I couldn't see it, and so I was like, either I forgot to add it or I drank it. I've already drank it.
I think the great part about this is a lot of the stuff you guys let Zakaria take.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
memory serves. So
Oh shit! Oh well. Hopefully she doesn't have anything too important.
most of it was stuff that you already owned at one point. But the floor is open.
I am going to inspect the arcane circle and make sure, that whatever this creature is, blood isn't weirdly interacting with it.
I would like to inspect the creature, like the corpse.
Okay, I would like Greet to roll me Arcana. I would like Sverkr to roll me Nature.
And I will be
Uh,
back.
Righty then.
Nature is with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm not.
No, I mean it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. With disadvantage, oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
What is it?
It's a 4. On both rolls, it's a 4.
Yo, this is a lizard.
Yeah,
It's
no, yo, it's a lizard.
This is a big surface lizard. They're a
Like,
lot
if
bigger
anything-
on the surface than they are underground.
Yeah, no. If anything, I feel like I would get distracted and start poking at like its bones and its scales, and like get distracted trying to figure out could I make anything with this?
What happens is you go to look over. Right, the lizards on the surface are a lot bigger than they are under. What? Wait, Greet, you did this? That
Yeah,
that
basically,
cut's
like-
huge. I can see its inside. You did that.
Yeah, basically, it's like what the fuck?
Great. Meanwhile, what did you get on Arcana?
17.
All right, so you can see me. The blood is not reacting to the blood, to the arcane circle. There is no sort of mixing there. There's no sort of reaction in any way.
Excellent.
What you do also notice is the arcane circle. As far as you're aware, despite it is to be interacted with, there must be a physical touch. You sort of know from your basic magical knowledge that it's a very somatic thing of you. If the magic can interact with you, you must be physically touching this circle. However, the circle is not activated from this side.
Right.
Based off of that, I'd like you to make me a general investigation check.
16 on the dice. I don't get any bonuses.
As you look around the cave, you notice a very small crack in the right hand side wall. As you look towards the way you came in, on the right hand side by this waterfall looking sort of water feature, let's call it, there is a small crack in the wall with something glistening behind it. Far, far too narrow for you to be able to reach your hand through, or for either of your companions to reach through, but just wide enough for you to be able to see that there is something reflecting light on the other side.
Right. I'm going to look over to Sverkr. Hey, Sverkr,
Yeah.
don't suppose you've got any tools for working stone and possibly widening a crack?
Working stone specifically? No, not on me. No. I do have my smithing tools back, but I don't know if those will help with widening a crack.
Hmm.
I've returned.
Sverkr, roll me intelligence.
I was about to say I'm intelligent, but that would be a lie. 13.
Whilst you know that your smith's tools may not be able to get the crack open wide enough for anyone to reach their hand through, you do know you have a big fucking warhammer.
That is true. Yes. But I mean, hey, the Warhammer is of decent make. I don't know if I wanted to accidentally break it.
Technically, it's one of two.
No, the other one is a battle axe.
What have I missed?
Greet has identified that the magic regarding this circle requires physical touch to be interacted with. However, it is not activated on this side. Upon a further investigation, he has found a very, very thin crack in the wall near the waterfall, sort of on the left-hand side of said waterfall, with something reflecting the natural light of this room inside it.
And I figured out the mystery of the lizard. It is a lizard.
Ah, right.
That's what rolling a 4 on nature will get you.
Yep. Yeah.
You think it's a bird?
Can I
Well, go ahead.
charge and hoof strike the crack?
You can attempt. It will be a disadvantage though, as even at your skill level, with your hooves, you've been able to split boards before, but you've never split stone.
That's understandable. I'll take that. Does somebody want to flank the wall for me?
You say that, Greet immediately moves further away.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge and double hoof strike the wall.
All right, roll me strength check.
A strength check. Not an attack roll.
Non-attack roll.
Okay, and this is a disadvantage.
As a disadvantage, yes.
Okie dokie. I think that's the one I'm gonna get. Yeah, okay. That's not the one I'm gonna. Plus. So that's the 13.
You are unable to break the stone. You do not injure yourself in doing so, but yeah, no, your hooves, no matter how much you charge, and you'll see, guys, that this centaur is like going, try to hit the wall, it doesn't work, so he sort of walks around the room a little bit and then tries it again, and it doesn't work, and he walks around the room a little bit again, and he goes at it again, and he gives it about 4 or 5 attempts, but it is not enough to break the stone.
Yeah, this is gonna need to be hit with something heavier.
I'm gonna go up and I'm going to hit it with my hammer.
All right, because you are from a family that works the underground, that sort of knows how stone works, and you have a bit of an art for it, roll me a strength check with advantage. Because
Oh,
you
shit.
are able to identify the nature of this stone and sort of identify at what points this stone would be at its weakest and at its strongest, and sort of how breaking this stone would be most effective.
What does a 14 give me?
You do not make a large enough hole to reach your hand through, but you do make a large enough hole to sort of see what is inside the crevice. And what you
Okay.
see is what look to you basically looks like a large pearl.
That's odd.
What is it?
It's a pearl, I guess. I'm not used to them. They're usually not really what I work with. So
Is you said we can't fit our hand through there, but can we fit the pearl through there?
If you were able to sort of get a grip on it, it would be enough space for the pearl to come through to you. Yes.
Oh, hey, lucky I just found this. I pull out the scroll of Mage Hand,
All right.
and I will cast it on the other side of the wall.
So as you sort of open this scroll up, you'll see these arcane writings all over it, and these sort of arcane circles, similar but also different. If that makes sense to the arcane circle that's on the ground, by your side, and sort of looking at it, this bright yellow light begins to erupt from you, and you sort of turn the scroll away towards the wall, partially to target the spell, but also partially because you don't want to blind yourself.
Mm.
And Greet and Sverkr, you're kind of having to duck out the way of the light as well a little bit, being so close to the wall. But Greet, you'll get this perfect view of this golden hand reaching forth into the crack, grabbing the pearl on the other side and pulling it out, and then placing it in your palm, Mr. Centaur. And once it has done that, the scroll sort of fizzles in your hand and becomes incredibly, incredibly hot. And as you let go, it just becomes ashes in the wind.
And what is this pearl that I am holding? Tell me about it.
You hold in your hand a perfect sphere, and Zverka, even though you don't work with this kind of material, even to you, like, this is a perfect sphere. No blemishes, no disfigurements, no imperfections. It is not quite metallic in nature. It's got almost a resin kind of look and feel to it. This sort of milky silver, I think is the best way I can describe it. And you do sort of feel this sort of energy radiating off of it. But as you look closer and as you kind of move it around your hand, that energy will dissipate. You do not know what you hold in your hand, but it is not a regular stone.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to look for around here, or are we right to get the hell out of here?
I think that's everything. I'm going to walk over and check the crack just for good measure. See if there's anything else that, catches the light or anything.
There doesn't seem to be anything else in the crack.
Yep, I would say we have handled the problem of the town as well as possibly another problem. Looking at the remains of the beast.
Man, none of you ever told me that surface things were so much bigger than underground.
It is an exceptional specimen for an above-ground lizard, to be sure. Shall we head back?
Believe so, but what
Should we
happened
go back
to...
and get the kobold I tied up?
Probably, yes. But what happened to Zakaria?
Oh, we stepped in, and blue stuff happened, and poof.
Whatever it was, I think it was the machinations of whoever is on the other side of this arcane circle.
Yeah, and we're certain it's not some kind of disintegration circle, right?
Of that I am quite certain.
Okay, okay.
I see.
Well, oh shit.
But before either review sustain any more injury, I feel like it best that we get back. We can start a search for Zakaria once we have informed the school of what we found here.
Alright. Let's...
God, if anyone asked, is there anything on the other side of the waterfall?
There is light coming from the other side of the waterfall.
Hmm. Are we gonna go back the way we came, or are we going to check what's behind the waterfall?
Probably best to check this place thoroughly. That kobold, it's just knocked out, right?
Last I checked.
It'll wake up
Why would I
eventually.
tie up a dead one?
We'll leave it here for now. We'll let the school know that it's here.
Right?
And apparently we're traversing a waterfall.
May as well check this place out fully before we go. It could be something else. And I'll look through the waterfall and go through the waterfall.
All right, as you go through the cascading waters, immediately you'll notice something odd. The water from the waterfall is running up towards this exit where light from the setting sun comes through into the underground. And as you follow the water, and again it sort of runs up the ground that you're going, ascending, very much breaking the laws of nature that you know. You come out to this beautiful forest oasis. You sort of stand on this large mound and sort of looking down, the water runs off the edge into this perfectly still lake, other than the ripples caused by the water going in. You see deer and birds, foxes, badgers, all manner of creature drinking from this water, colors flooding your eyes from the array of flowers all over, trees so close and so packed together, willows coming down. You cannot see outside of this clearing, this glade. Maybe a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
That said, I'm pretty sure Sverkr and I would be following. Would we all need wisdom saving throws?
You two don't yet.
16.
The beauty compels you to stay.
Oh shit.
Sverkr and Greet, as you two also make your way out of the cave. Greet, you especially notice this water seems very odd. You both stand and look down at this beautiful lake and safe haven of wildlife. I'd like you both just to roll me a d12.
D12. Okay.
11.
2.
Sverkr,
Yeah.
the beauty compels you to stay.
Alright. Are there any nice rocks around?
There's a few sort of rock spires that have naturally kind of come out, covered in this beautiful lush moss, and sort of surrounded by berries that look healthy enough to eat.
Right?
Greet, whilst you can absolutely acknowledge this is a marvel of nature, you have never seen anything like this before. You don't have that compulsion. To you, it is just that, a beautiful haven, a beautiful garden. Mr. Centaur, what do you do?
I'm just gonna probably just walk around, look around, admire this place.
All right, you see more variations of birds than you have in your entire life. The deer, the foxes, all the animals, they don't run from you. They just simply go about their business, drinking from the water, eating the berries and the fruits that have fallen from the trees, nestling in these little cotton beds and beds of moss that they have created from foraging. And you are at peace for the first time in a very long time. Great. As you see your friends sort of go off and start to enjoy this place, what do you do?
Looking around a bit, there's no connection between where we've exited, like where we are, and like where we came into this cave system, right? Like in my head, the map just
In
doesn't add
in
up.
in your head, yeah, no, it doesn't add up.
Druid Grove of Feywild. Druid Grove of Feywild. Come on, where's it? Basically looking around at the sky, the plants, trying to get an idea of whether, Sanctuary of Druid or Portal to. Don't suppose I could roll a nature check to see if I could get an inclination either way.
I will have you roll me history.
$19 on the dice.
As you sort of go down and you look at what your friends have been looking at, you look at some of the berries and the fruits. They are not native to the continent that you know that Myrmidon Academy is based on. They are not native to your home. You know, your home is known for its exotic fruits and cuisine and lifestyle, but you do not recognize any of these berries, any of these fruits. You do not recognize even some of these plants. There are some generic flowers. You see tulips, you see roses, you see nightshades, and then you see others that are exotic, are impossible. Whilst Greet is doing this, what are the two of you up to currently?
I am studying the rocks.
These rocks, they are, from what you'd understand, very easy to carve. They are not your typical stones. They are not your typical minerals. They are very soft stones. They are sort of perfectly formed. Unlike anything you've ever seen, it is a marvel of stone-based nature.
Whoa.
And you, Mr. Centaur?
I am going to keep an eye out for. I'm gonna start looking around for any potential dangers.
You do not get the feeling that there would be any danger here. You feel the safest you ever have. Greet. You will notice that on the very far end of the lake, sort of slightly out of sight to the other two, there is an individual in a white toga with this sort of golden circlet around their forehead with a green jewel in the center. Their hair, this sort of perfect oaky brown with leaves and vines sort of weaved into it, playing a harp, singing to the wildlife.
I don't suppose I could make a religion check because I've got an idea where I am now. And oh boy, is this going to be interesting.
What are you trying to achieve with this religion check?
There's a certain member of the Greek pantheon went missing, has groves about the place.
I could tell you.
Very much in tune with nature.
I could tell you right now that whilst you may be able to draw similarities, this does not look like that individual. They do not give you the sense of a godlike being.
Fair enough.
Mr. Centaur and Sverkr, you
Yes.
begin to hear a beautiful melody. Both of you roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty then. Wisdom.
Fuck. No.
Are you fucking serious? Okay. 5.
8.
Wait, no, wait. No, it's not 5. It is 7.
Oh.
You are both. You both are. There's this sort of curiosity in the back of your mind, and you want to see where this music is coming from. The notes are on point and held for the perfect amount of time. They are beautiful. They resonate with you, specifically to you, Mr. Centaur. They remind you of a memory you can't remember. Which I know sounds very convoluted, but I hope you get what I mean by that. There's something
Yeah.
that melody that resonates with you, and you can't put your finger as to why, but it makes you feel very reminiscent.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest way I've had to describe something, but there you go.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Unfortunately. Oh, this is gonna be a headache.
Greet, you see your two friends going towards this young lady, it seems.
Heading into the water or around the water?
Around the water. Around the
Okay.
water.
Just making sure. So now I'll follow them.
A kraken comes from the lake. No.
No, I was more thinking a naiad.
As you go closer, you start to see these almost elven features, pointed ears, very fair skin, rather tall. Perfect bone structure. And as Sverkr and Iron Shoes, as they both sort of sit down and enjoy the tune, she looks over at the two of them. Oh. Visitors? I've not had visitors in a very long time. And then her eyes sort of wander a little bit and they meet with you. Oh. Forgive me, I did not know I would be hosting. Welcome to the Grove.
Thank you, and it is a lovely grove indeed. We actually didn't expect to find ourselves here, considering we came here via a cave.
And I did not expect that a passage to here would be open. May I ask, where is it you come from?
The cave.
So I know the school we come from is Mimrodon Academy. I don't remember the name of the continent we came from.
It's to your people, it is just often referred to as the continent. It's sort of like basically the main group of societies like in the world, whereas a lot of the other species sort of live on their own in isolation. It's basically the continent is effectively where you get this sort of congregation and melting pot of all the species.
Yeah. We're from the Great Continent, and I'm guessing, considering where we are, saying the material plane would be apt, considering I'm not fully sure we're still there anymore.
The material plane? How did you manage such a feat? And Sverkr,
Killed a
you also,
lizard, walked through a waterfall.
she'll sort of look over at you two. Oh. Forgive me. And she waves your hand, and both of you, this compulsion, this almost trance that you were in, you now realize has been wiped away. Uh, you no longer feel this compulsion within you. You now sort of,
Now,
and you both know that you've been in a trance.
Hmm.
I want to ask a question. How bright is this place?
Quite bright.
What? Nah, turn off the light. I've had my eyes way too open. Ah,
Would you like me to turn off your lights?
no, I'm
Yeah.
good. Actually, that makes me actually wonder something. Completely unrelated to that, but can one use mending to fix a broken rib?
No,
Okay.
because that will end up creating some kind of eldritch horror in the future. You guys will pull some Frankenstein bullshit.
I was okay. Yeah, fine, fair enough. I rescind my question. The experiments will continue soon.
Oh boy. I'm
Yeah, no,
going to
Sverkr is basically doubled over, is in the fetal position with his face down, just trying to escape from the light. And while also trying to cushion his very, very sore ribs.
Is your friend all right?
He's just a sook.
My eyes are made for caves.
He is from
I'm
the world below, and we were also unfortunately in some unfortunate situations of combat before we came here. I don't suppose you mind enlightening us on as to where here is. As I said, I don't think we're in the material plane anymore.
You're in the Springvale. The sort of spring continent of the Feywild.
The what?
The
Uh,
Feywild.
the centaur's sort of just gonna blank out at this point.
Great hoofs, either of you know what they're talking about?
When we came up through the cave in which the waterfall was running upwards, we have traversed the plains.
Wonderful.
Um,
So, what are the odds of us getting stuck here?
I have no doubt that should our guest choose to, should our host choose to, we would have no problems traversing back home. And I'm going to look over to her and smile and nod.
Of course, I have no control over that passage, so but by all means, you may come and go as you please.
Um, I do not wish to be rude and leave so soon, but unfortunately, uh, among the material plane, we are still students, and we unfortunately have a curfew we must uphold.
Oh, no, I completely understand. But before you leave, could I get your names?
Hmm. Hold on,
Hold on.
I'm rolling myself an intelligence check.
White's just going to start laughing at this point.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean it like I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those.
No, you
Well, that is
misunderstand.
wonderful, because I rolled a 1.
You misunderstand the point of my humor. While a couple of us may give our names freely, one among us is still trying to discover theirs.
I
Oh.
don't have one.
Wait, is there something weird about that question?
There are creatures here who will ask for your names in return, steal your entire identity, and leave you a roaming husk of your former self. But I am not one of those creatures. I simply wish, if I are to know your name, should I ever wish to speak to you, I will be able to find you. And then she'll go over to you, Centaur, and sort of put her hand on your forehead and sort of run it down the side of your face and across your cheekbone. Hmm. I knew a centaur like you once.
Oh,
Yes, he was a very dear friend of mine. He was actually the I officiated his wedding. He and his husband were both hunters, and often they would bring me food in return for song.
I see. I
Well,
I never knew. I never knew my parents. I don't even know this place. I grew up in the academy that I now attend.
Well, take it from me, my friend. Whoever you are, you will find yourself soon, I am sure. A strong soul like yours, to go without a name is an offense to the soul itself. You will look over to Sverkr and greet. Perhaps I will word it differently. Would you inform me as to what your names are?
Of course, you seem, from my minimal knowledge of the Feywild, you seem like one of the less dangerous people wandering it. My name is Greet Twinson.
Sverker Brockerson.
Greta Silverdalia.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
A pleasure, my friend. I do apologize. If you do ever visit again, I will make sure that it is a more comfortable light. And she'll sort of reach onto the stone next to her and pull out this sort of crystal ball, move her hand over it, and greet you. You will see as she moves her hands, the sun moves with it, and day turns to night. And Sverker, you become a lot more comfortable, and your eyes seem to sting less. The pain
Ah,
subsiding quite quickly.
well, I will never again wonder what it would feel like to drop hot oil on my eyeballs.
We really must invest in a large, wide-brimmed hat for you.
I have actually started to consider getting myself a couple of faintly transparent dark crystals. Then I just need to find a way to attach them over my eyeballs, and I think that would help a bit. Problem is, I don't really know how to work crystals very well. I'm more to do with metal.
Actually, out of curiosity, while we're here, and I'll pull out the pearl. Does this show any interest or curiosity to you? Do you?
Oh,
There's something
do you?
just not quite right about it.
Oh, this. And she'll sort of take it. Oh yes, this is a seeing stone.
What?
A seeing stone. Sort of, you place it somewhere, and you're able to cast scrying on it, and you're able to, you know, watch through it as though it was your third eye. They're quite common here. People make them for, and if some of the pixies are feeling cheeky, they'll sometimes drop them in the other realms. I imagine that's how you found this one.
Right. Hmm. Part of me that worries if we should even be keeping this.
If it concerns you, I can hold on to it if you like, and you can come and use it whenever you need.
What do you think, Reed?
It's certainly better than having something that could be used to spy on us when we're still not sure who to trust at school.
It was behind stone. So it seems like it was there naturally, but
Yes, but
given
there was
where
a
it
lot.
was, yeah. If you would be happy to hold on to this for us, I do think it's probably better. I don't think anything.
If it offers you comfort, I am more than happy to do so, my friend.
I appreciate that.
And she'll sort of delicately place it next to her own sort of what you assume to be some kind of weather orb.
Now, and much as I hate to be a rude guest, I do believe we best get back to the school.
Yes.
Of course, of course. Before you do, I have something for your little friend here. And then she'll sort of go over to one of the flowers and she'll pick what looks to be some kind of nightshade with 6 bulbs on it. And she will come over to you, Sverkr, and sort of kneel down and hand it to you.
What is this?
This is Feywild Nightshade. It's a little bit stronger than the stuff you'll find on the material plane. If you take one of these bulbs and drop the pollen into both of your eyes, the irritation the sun gives you should leave you alone, shall we say, for a day or so.
I will remember this and I will take it.
All right, you can add 6 Feywild Nightshade bulbs. You're gonna have to add it as a custom item, but yeah. Effectively, you can use that to get rid of your sunlight sensitivity for a day.
Mm.
Thank you for your hospitality and your gifts, Greta. We will definitely be coming back to see you again. You have a lovely grove.
You're always more than welcome. And if you inform me ahead of time, perhaps I'll even provide some food.
How many bulbs did you say it had?
6.
6. Okay.
Yes.
The centaur's gonna.
One for every day except Thursday.
Uh,
Fucking please.
the centaur's gonna politely bow and step away.
Yep. The last thing I'm going to say, if you would like to be informed before we arrive, perhaps a token we could say drop in a stream to alert you that we are coming.
I'm sure you will find some way to get creative. You are students after all. One of the most important lessons I imagine they teach you is improvisation.
Yeah, I'm just going to nod and at that point, yeah, start heading back towards the cave, back to the material plane.
She will wave you off before going to sit down on her rock and continue playing on her harp. And you'll
Mm.
go. Sverker, do you want to do anything before you leave?
No, I'm just thinking
All right. In which case,
of
you
me
will
and
go.
Sverker.
You make your way up the mound and down the reverse water, through the waterfall once again, and you make your way back into the cave with the dead creature.
Yep. Perhaps we should exit the normal way this time.
Yes.
Good. Can I cut off its horn?
Roll me strength.
No.
No, fuck it. Scratch that. Belay that. Roll me survival.
All right.
Survival's more fitting.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't cutting off shit. That was another one for a total of 4.
What are you using
know-
to cut it?
I feel like I would have been too deep in thought, and I saw the horn. I was like, I want to get that, and so I just hit it with what I was holding, forgetting that I'm holding my fucking hammer.
You dent your hammer.
Yeah.
Would you like a
Not
hand with
enough.
that?
Not enough to sort of make it any less useful, but you've just ruined a perfectly good hammer. Your father would be very ashamed of you.
Motherfuckers. Well. All right then. I will switch to my axe and I will try again.
Oh, roll me survival.
That is 11.
The horn does not come off. However, you do not ruin a perfectly good axe, and your father would not be ashamed of you.
Okay. Yeah, no, at this point, I will have to swallow my pride and accept that this horn is not able to come off at this moment.
Sverkr,
Yeah.
would you like me to try?
What?
I'll take his axe and I'll give it a whack.
Roll me survival.
Or survival. Plus 5 is 22.
Okay, this could be interesting. All right, you successfully cut off the horn. You now have no real way to describe it without telling you what it is. You have a horn, I guess. Not the instrument. Oh my god! Why have I allowed this?
I will.
Oh no!
I will throw the horn and the axe to this back.
I'm looking between the horn, 2 hooves, back to the horn, to the corpse, 2 hooves, and just reaffirming in my mind that he's dangerous. Stay on his good side. Like, for everything that is good and well made in the world, don't piss him off.
If you're done collecting souvenirs,
Let's go.
Malachi, when you taking a level in barbarian?
is the kobold still tied up?
As you make your way out, the kobold is still very unconscious.
Oh shit.
Man, I need to get some quality ass knives.
He's got me thinking about monk barbarian. Now I'm gonna have to make a character just to test.
I'm gonna
No.
let one of the-
No. A monk barbarian is a bonk.
I'm gonna let one of the others carry it across, and I'm just gonna cross the log.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it and go through the little side path. It was a side path? I'm pretty sure it was a side path.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
there's
there's a
side
side
path
path.
that you can fit through because you're small.
Yeah, I will take it and I will go through it with it.
I will head across the log.
Yeah, I'm not
Alright,
trusting that log.
I'm not gonna make you guys roll for the log again. You've been able to make it over the first time. You would have very closely mimicked the techniques that you used to get over it once again, and you were able to successfully make your way out of the cave and back into the material plane.
What time of day is it in there?
Mm.
It
As the
is.
sun's
It is like this. It's effectively dusk at this point.
okay.
There is sort of the last lights of the day, coming sort of over the treetops.
Okay, so the Feywild didn't affect us too much. Lovely.
Unless we skipped a few days.
Mm.
No,
Actually, Sverkr wouldn't say that. He doesn't know shit.
Zerka may not know that, but and neither would Greet or the Centaur. But Malachi and Myers were both going. "Oh,
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah,
be
so how many hours are gonna pass just because we spent a few minutes in the Feywild? Like, what other problems are about to arise?
um
I mean, for all we know, maybe we had the opposite problem, and we spent less time in there than we actually spent in there.
For all you know, it's been 3 months.
Yeah,
well,
we get back and oh boy.
let's
So
head
can-
back to the farmers
Yeah.
All right.
and let him know his problem has been taken care of.
Yep.
And the whole city is a ruin. No.
Nothing would
Oh no,
happen.
we missed the Cobalt Uprising.
No, you're able to make your way back to Silverbark fairly quickly. You know the path relatively well, and as you sort of come back into town, you'll see that everyone is very much going home. Stores are beginning to close, and everyone's sort of packing up. The farmer seems to be moving his cattle over to the barn, and I would like you all to roll me a basic intelligence check.
That is 14.
8.
15.
Sverkr and Greet, you'll both sort of clock it that okay, if the farmer's moving the cattle over to the barn, he wouldn't have been. That's what he would have been doing when he was attacked. So more than likely, those two lizards that came out of the cave earlier, that Sverkr and Zakaria were dealing with, were most likely the lizards that killed these people. So you did, in fact, save the farmer's life.
Vindication!
Right. Um
I didn't almost die for nothing. Wonderful.
if I also recall correctly, the carriage was there was a carriage that was basically waiting in town, and we could use it to get back to the school once we were done.
Yes, it is being led by the unicorns.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you get to use the carriage. Asshole.
Yeah, I've made sure to place the horn in my backpack, so making sure that it's not visible.
Okay.
Don't want to send the wrong message here.
I'm going to walk past the farmer, as he's taking his animals in for the night, and just say, I think the problem that we were worried about has been taken care of. You shouldn't have to fear anything from your animals other than, your stock standard predators, which you guys know how to handle.
Thank you. From what you made it sound like, it would be quite the problem. So, here, take this for saving my business, I suppose. And he will hand you a small pouch of gold.
Okay. I'm going to politely accept it. And thank you. You were most generous. We weren't expecting any reward, but
Look,
we were just trying to ensure that, the town was safe. You
you
guys.
saved my you saved my cattle, as far as I'm aware. That's a little bit of the money I've been saving up, but I can get that over the course of the next couple of seasons. and you can add 32 gold.
Woo.
All right, and he will sort of take his hat off and bow to you as politely as he can. You can tell he's not one for formalities, but he tries his best, and he will lock up the barn before heading home.
I wish you bountiful summers. And I will walk off towards the cart, dragging the kobold behind me.
You do get some looks as you go through town, and you just have this unconscious kobold being dragged behind you in the dirt.
Yeah, well, I tried to carry him at first, but I don't have all the endurance in my arms, so eventually I realized it was just easier to drag him.
The point at which Sverkr starts dragging him, Arish is going to try and just throw the kobold over one shoulder.
All right. And the two of you,
It's good that
As
they're
you-
learning that they can't just throw everything onto the centaur.
Yeah.
They've made
as you
them
make it
stupid.
to your carriage, the door sort of automatically opens up for you.
I'm going to hop straight in and gently place the kobold on one of the benches.
Yeah. Going to sit, and should I sit right in front of the kobold? So I'm staring, like on the opposite side, just staring at him.
All right. And I assume, Mr. Centaur, that you will be riding next to the carriage.
I will be, yes. For as long as I can keep up.
All right. The doors close once the sort of carriage sort of acknowledges that everyone who is going to get in has, and the unicorns begin to ride back to the academy. Is there anything anyone would like to do on the trek back up?
I'm going to take out the horn. After a while, I'm just going to lose interest in the kobold. I'm going to take up the horn, and I'm going to inspect the horn to try and figure out try and just, based on the issues I had to, break it off earlier, and just, I said, looking at it, sure, it's bone, not metal, so I don't have the best, understanding of it, but I want to try and figure out what material I might need to have, a knife made out of to try and, carve this horn into something.
Roll me a d20.
All right. No, actually, I'm going to use the other d20. This one has not been good for me. This one was worse. All right, 5.
You're fucking kidding me. You take 1 lightning damage.
So, great. You see me take out the horn. I'm turning it over. I get a little sap and I just fall forwards. I'm unconscious, bitches.
I'm going to carefully get a cloth sack out of my backpack. Use that to pick up the horn so my fingers aren't touching it. Wrap it in the sack and then look down at Sverkr and cure wounds.
So how much would that heal me?
Fuck's sake.
9 points of healing.
Wonderful.
Oh my god.
Oh. Where was I?
And I'm specifically going to make sure the sack with the horn is out of his eyesight.
I must have fallen asleep there. Oh. Where are we going? Oh, you're right. Back to the academy. Yeah. Was I doing something?
Glaring at the kobold as though you were suddenly expecting it to escape.
No. Right. Right. I figured there was something else. Yeah, probably not important.
You make your way all the way back to the academy. And as the unicorns sort of pull back into the courtyard, you see in front of you Professor Stella, who is wearing his sort of starry astronomer's cloak, as well as the fire, earth, and air Myrmidon. And whilst the Myrmidon are simply doing their duty, you can tell Stella is not impressed to be having asked to wait for you all to return.
As soon as it pulls up, I'm going to pick up the sack and just look at Sverkr. Can you get the kobold and step out?
All right. Grab the kobold and I walk out of the carriage.
When they told me to expect 4 of you, this is not the 4 that I intended to see.
Well,
First of all, why is this kobold tied up and unconscious? Secondly, why do you look like you've been hit by a lightning strike? And thirdly, where is Zakaria?
do you want those answered in order or in the least amount of complication to answer?
I don't care as long as I get the answers, Brockerson.
Well, the kobold is tied up, but well, is tied to why we were out in the first place. I don't actually know why I look like I've been hit by a lightning bolt. And Zakaria vanished in blue stuff.
We're not
Ye-
sure what happened to Zakaria.
Yes, we were actually coming back here to try and see if we could find out what had happened to her because it was beyond our understanding. As for why Sverkr over here looks like he went a couple of rounds with Thunderstorm, in the same cave we encountered this kobold here. We also encountered another creature, and Sverkr decided to take a souvenir, and while fiddling with it, it electrocuted him.
Wait, is that what happened? Huh.
Right. And what creature was it that you found in this
lizard.
cave?
A big lizard.
A lizard.
A very big lizard.
That
It had a
after
horn. I thought the horn was pretty nice.
Do you still have the horn? Maybe that you could identify it.
I don't have it on me.
to pull the sack from my waist and just hold it up for the teacher.
Centaur, roll me insight.
Insight. Why this? Why? This
I
is
know
not,
that feeling.
This is not where I need it. Zephyr, enjoy that for a total of 25.
The
I was wrong.
second the
I did not
horn
know that.
the second the horn is revealed, you specifically see his eyes widen and a very light layer of sweat sort of run across his hairline.
I'm gonna grab the horn, the sack that Greet's holding. You look a bit nervous.
What you have encountered is clearly beyond your understanding. Perhaps I will be able to offer more insight. I will study the horn and see what kind of creature it was.
Up, 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 up. I
I
have plans
think
for this horn.
I think would you not say that as students it would be more beneficial to us to try and learn for ourselves? Extracurricular activity and whatnot?
Are you saying, as a professor, it is not my duty to protect not only the students, but the people of Silverbark as well? And that if we are able to identify this creature, we can send you lot on hunting missions to make sure this, well, whatever it was you're trying to prevent, does not happen again.
Well,
The
we have
horn.
clearly already prevented this, and
And then, so, if you wish to study it so well and keep the professors in the dark, this is my speciality, as it is also my responsibility.
Could
Young
we
sir.
I never said I intended on keeping you in the dark, but I just think as students it would be more beneficial for us to learn as we are in a school.
How about we get a lot better made axe than the one I have, and we cut this down the middle, and you get one half, and we get the other.
The horn, boy. I will not ask again.
Also, Zephyr, I sent you a message.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That'll save us a lot of time then. I'll throw the I'll just sort of throw it over my shoulder, like holding onto it. But
The air myrmidon, you'll sort of hear this very light whistle, Marhez, in a language you do not understand. Professor Stella will walk right up to you.
I will have it known that I'm kind of slightly behind him, just kind of standing on my tippy toes, trying to reach the sack, just not reaching it because I'm short. Like, give me the. That's right.
I will. I'm gonna bring it back over and hold it to my chest and keep the equal distance between myself and this professor.
You wish to be difficult, boy, so be it. You are directly disobeying instructions from a professor. You'll have a week's worth of detention down in the dungeons, and that horn is confiscated. You'll get it back after your detentions have been served.
Can I attempt? I don't trust this. I don't trust this. I'm not willing to give this up. I'm just gonna look across. Can I see all the myrmidons?
You can see the three, yeah,
Three.
that are, yeah. The water one you assume is not there, as you have no one with
Mhm.
you who is of the house current.
No.
Other than the whistling, I'm waiting to see if what I did has had any effect.
Yeah. We will get to that in a moment.
I'm just gonna keep my distance for now.
He will keep his hand outstretched. Do not make me call upon your house, Professor.
Who gave us this task?
Wasn't it?
It was Professor Silver who advised Greets that maybe this would be an idea
Hmm.
for you guys to do if you are so concerned about it. Are you gonna do anything?
I'm going to hope that what I did succeeded, and he mentioned summoning our heads of houses, basically, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to pipe up with one of them should already be on the way.
I have no doubt.
As she
My point stands, boy.
I'm steadfast, but I am leaning in preparation to bolt.
Great, you will see Professor Silver sort of walking up towards the situation. You summoned me, Guardians.
Professor Silva, it's so good to see you. We've returned from that errand you sent us on, and unfortunately, there's been a bit of miscommunication about some of the items that we encountered and have returned with.
I tell, Greet. What is this problem you speak?
Uh, well, in searching for a solution to things, we encountered a creature. Say creature was overcome. Uh, Sverkr here wanted to take a souvenir, and the professor here is trying to confiscate it for reasons he has not fully explained to us.
Says he wants to study it, but I have plans for that horn.
Plus, he seems to already know what it is.
If Professor Stella truly is concerned about this horn, you would understand that I would also share such concerns and suspicions.
Yes, but thought as the person who had advised us to pursue this errand, um, it would be something better left with you as you are also my head of house, and thus I can have better communication with you if any follow up need be done.
I just want to guarantee that we'll get the horn back.
That would be depending on the nature of said horn.
I will take this horn in my bare hand. God help me. and I will sort of hold it outside of this other professor's reach, but very clearly showing it off.
Silver and Stella will whisper something to one another for a few moments, and then Silver will clear their throat. Whilst it may not be what you were hoping for, this horn is best protected and studied in Professor Stella's care. They specialize in this kind of history. Should the horn be deemed safe, it will be returned. Stella is a man of his word. But I advise you to think very carefully about what you value more. Possession of that horn, and whatever knowledge you could garner for yourselves, or a far greater knowledge at the access of the resources of faculty. And Silver will
will-
outstretch their hand.
I'll throw it to Stella.
Stella will take it. Perhaps
Does he still
next
get
time.
attention?
3 days detention for disobeying the orders of a professor. Perhaps next time you will think before you act, boy.
I did think,
And he will.
and I don't regret my decisions today.
And he will walk off, and Silver will kind of step forward to the three of you. I urge you
Yeah.
to be very careful in these matters.
Well,
We
I will.
are of the understanding that we can't trust everyone here. After seeing his reaction, I couldn't trust him. I am not sorry. I do not regret my choices.
And why would you be under the impression that you cannot trust the faculty?
We have been made aware of certain problematic things going on. And that is all I can say.
After we captured this kobold.
That
did
was
it.
going to be my next question.
Yes, this one was
That-
at the camp where we believe the attackers of the town were, and this creature was.
And the town has not been attacked, so I'd say we did a good job.
He also had the robes of a student as well as these robes, and I'm going to pull out one of the other sets of robes.
I
With the claw mark.
see.
I do not believe he was actually a student here and was sent to infiltrate.
I see. I will take him to Professor Orion immediately.
Actually,
As for the...
what's the time at the moment?
It is sort of a little over an hour past sunset. Most of where you are right now is being lit either by sconces sort of put up around the place or by the fire myrmidon itself.
Sverkr is very intentionally not looking right at it.
I need to check something on the school grounds.
And what would that be?
I don't know if they're working together, is my problem. If it's just an over-curious student, I really don't want to get them in trouble. But if they're working together, it could be a problem. There is a student either going to or currently breaking into the library.
And how would you have knowledge of such a thing when you've been out of the school grounds for the rest of the evening?
Call it amazing intuition.
Out of character, also, I had already covered most of the time loop with and stuff
Yeah.
with Professor Silver.
Yeah, well,
It's
the
not
issue.
fun.
Yeah. Well, no, absolutely. The issue we have is obviously Silver doesn't necessarily know that the Centaur is tied into all that shit as deeply as he is. Because all
That-
if memory serves, all you said was me and my friends,
Yes.
yeah.
which was quite an
Yeah, it was very nondescript.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it was smart in case the individual could not be trusted.
Professor Silver, we also have the issue of Zakaria to deal with. When we were fighting against that creature in which Sverkr decided to collect the horn of, Zakaria stepped on a runic circle and disappeared.
Where was this circle?
In the cave.
In a
There are
cave,
many caves.
There's a cave that's part of a small hill structure, not far from the town. Remember how I explained to you the farmer that had the
Yes,
village with you?
yes.
We managed to prevent that by
Very well
actually
done.
exploring this cave and killing what lay within it.
Mostly kobolds. There was a couple of smaller lizards. Still big, but not as big as the big lizard.
Yes. Well, I will, after going to Professor Orion, I will send a letter to Drail and have him inspect this arcane circle of yours first thing in the morning. As for this curfew breaking student, show me, young sir.
Now, what species is Professor Silver?
Memory serves they are half elf.
I
I may
will
need to double check my notes.
I will lean down and offer them a hand onto my back.
That will be more than fine, my child.
And I'll start heading off towards the library.
Out of character question.
Yes.
Was the detention only for Hoofs, or was it for all of us?
It was specifically for the
It was
centaur.
it was specifically for
Okay,
me,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is what I thought, but my brain is was starting to
I
ask
mean, if you
questions.
want detention, we can retcon it, and I can work
No,
it
no, no, no.
in.
I think I'm fine. Sverkr has a tendency of going unconscious. Shit, he has already gone unconscious this session.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, every session.
Mm-hmm.
It genuinely is, isn't it?
It is.
No. I use more spell slots healing Sverker than I do any other party member.
And I very much appreciate you for it. If anything, this Sverkr will remember this. Once he's been able to actually put up a proper forge somewhere, he will repay you. Maybe not in a way that you want or expect, but he will repay you. Anyways,
All right. So the two of you, do you follow the centaur?
yeah. Has anyone taken the kobold off our hands, or are we still?
No. So Professor Silver is currently has cast a spell, and effectively the kobold is levitating behind them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good. So I don't need to drag it after. Yeah, no, I will follow. Because I'm curious about this. I don't know if Circus has actually heard about this encounter yet.
I don't actually know
No.
if you have.
No.
Yeah, I don't think any of you
Only
talked about it. So Circus is very curious about okay, what is this about mutant breaking into the library?
only myself and Zakaria know, and I'm fully prepared for it to not be here and it to have been one of the ones in uh the cave. But I think
Funny.
the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure I asked if they looked familiar, and I was told no.
Well, as you make your way to the library, you will see the same window at the top of the wall open, and you will hear a very familiar
Hmm.
whispering shout. We love our oxymorons here. And Silva will sort of look at you.
I'll put a finger to my lips and just sort of usher them away and head over to where I assume the grapple hook is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly where it was before.
Yep. And I will toss it. I'll toss it in for the little kobold.
Whoever you are, thank you. And they'll start clambering their way up, and you'll feel this heavy tugging. And you'll see this kobold sort of sat at the top of the window before they climb down the walls. And they'll run over to you and shake your hand very aggressively.
And
You have
I
no
will,
idea.
as I grab it, I will just lift them up and I wouldn't thank me. I'm sorry, friend. And I will turn them towards Professor Silver.
They have this look of horror, as you can imagine that this is actually a Gale student from the way they look at Silver. Greet, you might recognize this kobold from the common room. You may not. I will leave that up to you. Really? What did I ever do to you?
Just a case of wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately.
You kind of get this dirty look and this sort of side glare as he sort of wriggles out of your grip. And Silver will walk over and not only have you broken curfew, but you broke into school property. I'm afraid that will be 4 days detention. I expect better from you. And you will just sort of hear the kobold. Yes, Professor.
We do have to
Before
ask
it's-
one more question. Do you recognize this kobold? No, point out the other kobold that is currently tied up and unconscious.
No. Doesn't look like anyone I know. Older than me.
Can I tell if there's any odd reactions, or does he look like he's telling the truth?
You can roll insight with disadvantage because he's got a lot of emotions right now. And he's quite hard to read.
I will give you guidance.
Aww. Okay, that's I
I
rolled
keep
exact.
forgetting to do that. I finally remembered.
Yeah,
What-
you do.
what-
There's been so
what's,
many skill checks.
What's guidance? What does that give me? D4?
What's a
It
D4?
gives, you roll a d4 and you add that to your roll.
23.
You don't think he has a reason to be dishonest, from what you can garner.
Either he's a master manipulator or he's telling the truth.
I think he's telling the truth. I don't think he's a part of what we came across. Sorry to have gotten you in trouble, but we needed to be sure.
He still sort of looks at you with a very dirty look before going back to the main courtyard. Now, I would very highly recommend that the three of you make your way to bed before you get yourself in more trouble, young sir.
Well, at least he's able to get one good night's rest before detention.
I was actually about to ask, does my detention start tonight or tomorrow?
It will be tomorrow. We do not have proper time to prepare the dungeon for you. No one had detention today, so it was not properly prepared.
Yeah, I know. Who would get detention on their first day?
Quite right. Although, I suppose in a way you didn't you, young sir?
Just muttering to myself.
Future reference, perhaps you watch your attitude around Mr. Silver and Mr. Stella. Sorry. Fuck. Yeah, can be quite strict. But he is that way due to his experiences, and never has there been a student in his class that hasn't revealed their full potential.
I have a question, unrelated to any of the events of today and or tonight. As a head of house, what do you think is the likelihood of me being allowed to set up a small forge in my room?
I certainly know if you did that in my house and you caused disruption, there would be issue. I don't want students being kept up until the dead of night and their
Is there
studies
any
or
kind of
sleep being
magic
interrupted.
that could isolate the noise of my room to my room?
I mean, you could always perform something like a Leomund's tiny hut.
I don't know how to do that. It's not really my kind of magic, I don't think.
Then I suppose you could cast silence, but then you yourself would also not be able to hear it. You'd have to maintain the spell.
It's an issue. Hearing the metal is important. Well, I guess I will have to ask my own head of heights for thoughts and opinions.
I think that best. Now, if there is nothing else, I must go see Professor Orion.
See you in tomorrow's class, Professor. And I'm going to head for where I know the portal back to House Gale is.
Or we won't, and
Well,
we'll see you all today.
I wish tomorrow will be tomorrow.
You're all very odd. And they will begin walking back to what looks to you sort of this large dome like building where you assume Headmaster Orion what's the word? I can't think of the word. Shit.
Reside?
Thank you. Resides.
You are most welcome.
You'll make your way back to the main courtyard unless there is anything you'd like to do before doing so.
No.
Fucking
No.
rule breakers, the lawyer.
Just before we split off to our own portals,
Mm-hmm.
I will just look to them all. And so, if tomorrow does start repeating, I feel like we should try and meet up and discuss what we should do early in the day.
Well, we potentially know where all our stuff will be.
Well, we know we've all got to get together for the opening ceremony anyway.
Unless any of us get late again.
That's not likely to happen.
I also feel like that if the day does repeat itself, Professor Silver is somebody we can trust.
I'm still iffy on Professor Stella, but that reaction,
Well,
they know something.
if it repeats, next time we cut off the horn, we don't tell anyone about it.
I think we may have to.
But it stings to, well, no, not stings. I've been hit by inspiration, okay?
You've been hit by lightning. That was not inspiration.
Huh. Well, I'm pretty sure the inspiration hit me before the lightning.
There are a lot of things hit you before the lightning. Anyway, we should try and get some sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, may you all rest like stone, and I will walk away.
You go over to the House Terra Myrmidon, and as you sort of get ready to be taken home, you sort of see them bring their two large stony hands up, and this almost rock-like cocoon begins to form around you. And to the outside, to the centaur, and to greet, you sort of see this stone surround Sverkr before he is suddenly and quite quickly pulled down into the earth, with the hole left behind being filled in by the Myrmidon. Sverkr, you feel like nothing is moving. You feel like you're standing in one place. And then before long, the stone begins to fall away back into the earth, and you are in House Terra.
And once again, nobody
home sweet
sees
home.
the centaur erupt into flame.
Well, that depends. Do you go second or third?
Oh god, no. I'll go last.
All right. Great. As you go towards your Myrmidon, you sort of look around you, and suddenly this twister, this tornado begins to form and quickly gather pace around you. To the centaur, you see this tornado, and this tornado sort of suddenly begins spinning itself and goes up into the clouds and out of sight. Great. You feel nothing. You're just standing in amongst these vicious winds so thick that you can't see through. And as the winds dissipate, you are standing on the clouds of House Gale with a beautiful Aurora Borealis above you.
Aurora Borealis.
And finally, to the centaur, as the fire myrmidon kind of points a few feet down the courtyard, you see this fiery vortex open up in front of you. And as you run through it, the flames engulf you, and you are within the hot core of the volcano that is House Ember. What do the three of you do with your evenings?
I will go to my room. Out of curiosity.
That's it.
Out of curiosity, on my way to my room, is there any, I don't know, nice looking rocks? Like, maybe pretty colors, I don't know, glowing or anything that
Well,
don't look like I would get into trouble if I took it?
all of the rocks on the ceiling are these sort of crystalline stalactites and clusters that have been made to look like a night sky. Around you, it's almost like this entire sort of complex of caves and tunnels is made of obsidian.
Yeah, don't want to ruin that. It takes time to dig for obsidian. You know, it's without making everything collapse on you.
There's a joke here we're not going to make.
And I guess I'll just go to my room.
All right, what do you do when you get to your room?
I will attempt to figure out the most secure part of my room to store all of my shit.
You do have this sort of stone-like chest that's sort of been etched from the wall itself that only you have the key to.
Okay, good. I will store my shit in it.
Now I must ask, what do you do with the key?
Shit. Uh, hmm. I. Hmm. That is actually a very good question. What do I do with my key? I will. Shit, I don't have enough of a beard to hide it in it. Yeah, I'll hide it in my pillow.
In your stone pillow.
Indeed.
You know, fuck it, roll me sleight of hand.
Didn't you know? I'm 5.
You tried to chisel out a little pocket in your pillow to put your key, and your smith's tools are not doing it. They're not doing the job.
Well, all right then. Fuck it. I'll place the key under my pillow and then I'll just go to sleep.
So the,
Alrighty.
so the pillow is just sitting like this far up.
Yeah, it's ever so slightly slanted.
Yep, balancing on top of the key.
Yep. And you do notice with the ever so slight angle of your stone pillow, falling asleep takes a little bit longer than normal as you're not used to this position.
Well, it's still more relaxing than having someone smith up some armor or weapons right next to your bed, or rather your room. But,
Yeah, but also anyone who came into your room would say, "Hi, his pillow's slightly weird. Oh look, there's a key underneath it. I wonder what that opens."
hey, Sverkr's not the brightest cookie.
We know.
Great. What do you do when you get to your house?
As I said, I'm gonna head to my basically sleeping area because I've always pictured the house scale dorms as very open and cloudy and airy, and
Mm-hmm. So the main thing that sort of divides all the different private areas is more of a thick mist than anything.
yeah.
All
Going
right.
to store my armor and weapons. I'm not going to, lock them away under lock and key because I figure if the day does start over, whatever stole our stuff the last time probably isn't going to be bothered by a mundane lock.
All right. You put your things and your belongings into basically this miniature cyclone that sort of sits in the corner of your cloud, where you
That's
keep
so much
all of
cooler.
your physical belongings. And once you store them away, are you heading to bed?
Yep.
All right. You lay down on these soft clouds, sort of just cool enough to be comfortable, looking up at the night sky and the colors, the greens, the blues, and purples. And you fall asleep. And Mr. Centaur, when you get back to your house, what do you do?
I go straight to sleep.
All right. Do you put your belongings away?
No.
Okay.
Our stuff
You
was
go
our
over.
stuff wasn't stolen from our dorms. Our stuff was stolen after we got to the school. I remember.
All right. As you go to your room, you sort of go to this sort of warm coal bed that was made for your particular unique stature, you close your eyes and begin to rest. You all successfully get a long rest. And when you wake up, all of you, even you, Sverkr, wake up on time.
I have time
And-
for breakfast for once.
You all awaken. You take some moments to gather your things, sort of look around, and then you hear the bells for the chariots. You will make your way to your particular chariots. Sverkr, the one that you're on, is still perfectly built. There is no broken wheel. There is a little less excitement. You could already tell that
Thank
a few
Oh,
students in all of your carriages, already some of the robes are not done up to the top. Some of them have sort of changed their cloaks to be more like capes, and some of them are wearing the hood up, some wearing the hood down, some are rolling up their sleeves. You can tell already that some have already grown acclimatized, whilst some of the New Year's are all still looking very neat and tidy. And all the chariots begin to take off. For the centaur, very much the same. The Myrmidon comes to you and opens that same flaming portal. You are all flown or teleported in fiery glory to Myrmidon Academy, the Adventurers Academy, the centaur appearing in the courtyard, and you make it just in time to see the 4 different Pegasi-led carriages coming in from the air, all teleporting, some through twisters, some through bubbles, one through flame, and the other coming in through this sort of rocky portal that is made. And they all land, and to the centaur, you do see Sverkr and Greet disembarking their carriages. What would you like to do?
I would like it known that I am wearing my chainmail.
I'm immediately going to be like, I will warm up with those two, but I'm going to be looking
Like,
around for Zakaria.
Yeah. Like I've tried to put as much of my student uniform as possible, like on top of my chainmail.
And I would also like to note, my backpack is on my front, my quarterstaff is in my hand. Like, I have been staring at this thing the entire time. Like, actively waiting for something to try and take it.
You do not see Zakaria disembark the chariot.
Hmm.
But Greet and Sverkr, you will see your centaur friend, Hooves or Iron Shoes, depending on your preference, making his way to your sort of general direction. What would the 2 of you like to do?
I'm basically looking around at this point to see if today is looking like a repeat or whether I'm actually noticing enough differences that I think the day may have progressed.
I will say as much as you have not heard a call for New Year for everyone to come to the amphitheater.
Read, hooves. Does anyone recognize anything?
I
Nothing so
think the
far.
day's progressed.
I think breakfast is in order.
Yes.
That would be
Alright.
nice.
And going to head for the food halls.
Okay. And
Like,
as you will come to the realization that this is in fact tomorrow, which has now become today, and you make your way to the mess hall, that is where we're going to call it for today. I know it's a bit shorter than normal, but the reason for it is you will level up.
oh my god! Second day in the academy. Already leveled up. And if this rate continues, we will graduate.
Well, Well, here's the thing. So depending on what happens with Zakaria, whether they're with us for next session or not, we'll either do a little bit with Zakaria beforehand and then go to this, but effectively we're gonna have a bit of a time jump.
Okay.
So that we're gonna have a little bit of a time jump.
Well, then at least we know nothing
because-
major is going to happen on Hoof's detention.
Well, I'll roll for that. I'll roll for that in between now and next session, and we'll see. Hoops
I
may
was
come
gonna,
to the
I
next
was gonna
session.
say, yeah,
Hoops
you
may-
and I can probably have that session.
Yeah. I mean, we may just do it as Hoops shows up to a class and he's got a weird scar. I will let Malachi do with that whatever he wants. You know what? Maybe we'll just have Malachi entirely sort of just he
We'll-
can describe his own
We'll,
detention
we'll
or whatever.
work it
We'll
out.
figure that out.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm looking forward to it.
But yes, because as much as I'm sure we'd all love to, I think role playing every single day of a school year is a bit much.
I mean, some people are into that.
I mean, we've spent about 6 sessions on the first day under a technicality.
Yeah, under technique. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I know that this was a bit of a shorter session, but obviously, technically this day was meant to end with you defeating the Drake and go home, but obviously that took a bit longer than we thought. So I thought, let's add this cool little bit with the Feywild because that would be cute. And we give Malachi a little bit of character development,
A bit of taste of home.
Yes.
little taste of home.
Ah,
Yes.
it's so much nicer. Now I have 50 feet of movement.
So, just to be safe, well, not safe, but out of curiosity, you probably won't answer this, and it's completely fine if you don't answer this. But what is the likelihood of Sverkr getting the horn back?
So, how do we all find that session?
I think it was pretty good.
That's pretty good.